Welcome and welcome back. We have got ourselves a crazy relic reveal and a very interesting looking Echo boss, so let's talk about it. Yes, we got our second tier 2 Hotfoot, and I'll preface, crazy in the sense that this one's actually good, unlike Woodsman. I'll save the shots for later. All right, we're going to take more of those at Woodsman. But let's talk about Hotfoot. What is this one going to be doing? Now, there's a lot of different agility things it's going to have. I'm going to circle back to those. The main points for this are going to be passive agility XP while you're running, kind of like what we saw with something like corner cutters last year. We're also going to get auto cooking of fish and auto smelting of ore whenever you're fishing or mining, respectively. So, kind of like what we were theorizing on, the ones in tier 2 seem like they're getting multiple skills that they're going to be impacting. And man, the fact that this one got smithing and agility together, wow, what a combo. Cooking, I mean, I don't mind having cooking in the mix, but like, cooking's normally not that bad to mess with. Now, immediately what stands out to me is, how is this going to interact with some of the tier 1s? Now, abundance takers, I'm sorry, this is not for you. We'll talk about abundance later. But for people who are doing like the gathering related relics, so either the Endless Harvest or Barbarian Gathering, both of those are going to synergize really well with this because, yeah, I mean, you're going to be mining and you're going to be fishing. So you're getting a lot of value out of the whole like auto cook, auto smelt thing. Now, Endless specifically does feel maybe a little bit better as a sort of like passive money maker. So when we're talking about mining, because you only need one runite rock. As long as you have the tool, you can just sit at the same rock for, what, like 25 minutes at a time, whatever, right? You're AFK at work. So while getting there might be a little slower, once you do get up to runite, that's essentially like a money solve for yourself, which I think is really cool. And all this stuff is just going to go to the bank for you as well. For Barbarian Gathering, it's a little different. The mods did confirm you can put the like smelted or cooked fish into your knapsack, so it's not like we're getting handicapped because we don't have these things going straight into the bank, which is good. Do keep in mind for things like the fish, you can't pull stuff out of the knapsack, you can only destroy it, so you have to go to a bank if you want to clear that out. So it's not like this becomes some sort of like big brain PVM, like, oh, I'm going to do this boss next to a fishing spot. Not exactly. Although, I guess if you don't put it in the knapsack, maybe. But at least we're going to be able to like farm out these resources, still kind of be there for a while using the knapsack because it holds up to 140 of stuff. So like, it'll still be quite good. Now, on some of the other like agility features that come with this relic, you've got things like picking up termites or marks of grace are going to automatically complete the lap. So especially if you get this early on, that's going to be a huge boost. And you're also going to get 10k GP. In the past, when we've gotten GP from things like marks of grace, like it's okay. It's not like, oh, I'm going to get millions upon millions, because you're probably not going to want to run that many agility laps. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're crazy and you love agility, but like, there's 3 of you out there. God, you're the same people taking Kandarin, aren't you? But, as like an early-ish money solve, maybe it's fine. Like, in tier 2, we typically get to this like fairly quickly. The last couple of leagues, like 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're probably at tier 2. So considering we start in Varlamore, you're going to have access to the worm course once you get up into, like 52 agility for that level requirement. This is going to help you get there if you're not already there yet by the time you get to tier 2, which you probably won't be. And then it'll also mean you can access that, so this could be a fairly early source of GP for you, which early GP, a couple 100k can go quite a long ways, especially when you're talking about all these different shops that exist in Varlamore. Then, it is a potential for you. I don't think it's like the best moneymaker in Varlamore, and I doubt that this will be like major cash for you anywhere else too. But I digress on that point. 33% chance that Marks of Grace are going to spawn, so there's going to be more common, and that's also just like a blanket 33% chance across all of the rooftop courses, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, if your level's too high and you're in like Falador, you're not going to get marks as often. So this definitely helps with that. And it also compounds with the fact that when you pick one up, it's going to complete the lap. So basically, 1 in every 3 laps, you're going to finish early, which is cool. And also, when you complete a lap, it counts as 2, and it gives you 25% bonus XP on top. So really, really good for anything like agility lap related. 100% success rate for both agility and cooking. So this is great for agility shortcuts. Some of the courses where you have failure rates, like the wilderness, you'll still be able to fail those obstacles even at, I think, 99. And then on the cooking side, it's a cooking cape, right? I mean, it's not like super, super crazy for cooking, because yeah, you could eventually get to the cooking cape. Oh, actually, no, you couldn't. The cooking cape's in Barak. Never mind, that's on fire. This is great. Okay, I take that back. And then you will also get 2 times termites when you pick them up, and 10 times crystal shards when you pick those up if you're in Tehranwyn. So I want to talk a little bit about what areas this makes a lot of sense for. Obviously, starting in Barlamore, I kind of already touched on this. We're having termites there from that agility course, so like also getting the agility course, there's probably going to be some tasks associated to it. It's not like a bad pickup from Barlamore. And then moving down towards the desert. I don't know that I like this in the desert specifically. You do have a rooftop course, 2 of them actually. So it's not like it's bad when it comes to, completing those laps. If there's some tasks associated to them, do 50 laps, do 100 laps, whatever. There's the agility pyramid this is going to work on. You don't really need the cash from agility pyramid just because the marks of grace are going to be spawning and that gives you cash. But again, maybe helping with a couple of tasks. But really the big draws for me on this are the smelting and the cooking side. And the desert has like pretty good support for both of those things. You've got the Giant's Foundry for smithing. And while, yes, you could say like, hey, when I gather and it turns into bars, I can use the bars in Giant's Foundry. That's true, but you can also just use random equipment, adamant equipment, rune equipment, whatever that you can buy from shops. And shops have infinite stock. And depending on our money situation, I don't think you're going to need the bars from something like this to go and do Giant's Foundry. Likewise with Temperos. I mean, Temperos is going to give you a lot of raw fish. So you're already going to have these supplies that you're going to have to process anyway. Granted, it's not AFK, I understand. But like, for me, this doesn't hold a lot of value in the desert specifically because the desert just has like other support for these skills besides maybe agility. Mauritania, I'm kind of mixed on. The Relic doesn't say that it gives you any bonuses for the Hallowed Sepulchre, which is like the big agility thing in Mauritania. So from that standpoint, I really don't like this. However, you do need 92 agility to do the final floor of the Hallowed Sepulchre. So if you want to get in there and do it sooner, then like the passive agility XP on this Relic is going to be good. So it's hard for me kind of like taking this into account which way I lean for this one. And it probably is going to depend on you. I mean, if you don't mind training agility, or maybe there's another relic that helps you get there, then I don't know if I would be taking this. However, if there isn't anything and you hate training agility, then it makes a lot of sense that you would want to have some passive XP, because if you go to Mauritania, you're going to want to do the Sepulchre tasks. They're probably going to be tasks for every floor, and there may be some additional tasks on floor 5. Now, the no-fail thing won't help you with the obstacles in there, because they tend to function a little differently. Unless the mods say otherwise, I'd be a little surprised. So I don't think you're going to be able to, like, blitz through floor 5. I think you're going to actually have to participate in the mechanics, which, again, is maybe a little bit of a downside to taking something like this. But that's probably enough on Mauritania. Let's move on to the Wilderness. Now, the Wilderness has a couple of things that I like synergizing with this. So you've got the resource area for things like dark crabs and for the runite golems. So this is just going to help you get more XP out of something like the resource area. And this is also going to help a little on the Wilderness course. The no-fail rate is going to help a tiny bit. The fact that you're getting 2 lap counts every time you finish is going to help you stack up your lap counter really fast. Now, there is a cap to that, so it's not like ultra crazy, but maybe this will also give you 2 tickets, which could be pretty cool because it's like 2 laps have been finished. Tehranwyn, I do like this one. You do get the extra crystal shards from the agility course. You're probably not going to be doing the Tehranwyn agility course that much. As I recall on the tasks, it was like hitting a certain time frame. Maybe they have like a lap count in there, but it's only the one course, so I don't think that the crystal shards are going to be super crazy. But what I really like this for is the auto smelting. The mine in Tehranwyn is really, really good, and especially if you take Barbarian Gathering, so you actually benefit from having multiple nodes, then it's 4 Runite rocks down there. Like, this is where I see Barbarian Gatherers going to really like get their Runite money printer. Because the Endless guys, they could do this in Barlamore, you only need 1 rock. But as a Barbarian Gatherer, you're probably going to be hopping around still if you want to take advantage of something like this. Plus, there's also a lot of adamant down there too. So it's just really good in general for building up all of those smithing supplies for yourself if you want to use that for like money. Now, a little side note for this, Tehranwyn also has the best crafting smithing method once you go into the armor, so I don't think that you necessarily need this for the smithing solve. But again, I really think having like a good GP generator, it fits the bill fairly decently here. Moving back up towards Karen. Karen does have anglerfish, so you get a little bit of benefit out of there. I don't think that's strong enough for me to be like, woo, yeah, let's take Koren with this thing, because like cooking isn't that big of a deal, and there's not really a lot of other benefits in Koren for this one. Same with Fremnik. I mean, it's not like it's bad to take it for Fremmy. It's just, I mean, you've got like one rooftop course, so that you're not going to get a lot of benefit from this, at least in that area specifically. Now, the areas that I really, really like this for are Asgarnia and Kandrin, because Asgarnia, you actually have Grace's shop, so you can spend the Marks of Grace, and there's almost certainly going to be some tasks associated with this, so being able to speed that up, along with the Falador rooftop course task, I think that'll be really beneficial for you. And then also Kandrin. I can't believe I'm putting a green arrow next to Kandrin for like a second day in a row. That's crazy. Kandrin normally sucks for agility because you have 2 rooftop courses and you potentially have some monkey laps that you're dealing with. So having something that's going to speed up the lap counts suddenly feels a lot better in Kandrin. You're getting to that higher level course in Ardoin. You're getting through the monkey laps a little faster. I mean, the monkey laps can also spawn Marks of Grace and finish them faster. So, I mean, like, actually a monkey lap task with something like this really won't feel that bad. No one likes to do monkey laps, all right? So it's still going to feel bad. But, like, if you have to do 50 of them, it's realistically going to take you, like, 20, you know? So you're saving a good amount of time. Now, while we don't have all of the tier 2s yet, this kind of cements for me that, yeah, we're going to see some sort of, like, dodgy deals something here as the final tier 2. And while we don't know exactly what those skills are going to be, there's probably not going to be any overlap with the other 2 relics. So, like, thieving crafting rune crafting or thieving crafting construction feels like that's probably where they're going to lean with this. Now, rune crafting would make it a very difficult decision because that tends to be an absolute nightmare to train in leagues if you don't have, like, a specific relic like Banker's Note. So we'll have to see. But what I did want to give is kind of like a general breakdown of where I see these relics falling. So Woodsman, we've talked about, that's kind of like Barlamore's power relic. You know, you're using this mainly for the hunter solve, but it's doing a lot of like early things for you. If we get like a dodgy deals type of thing where we have AoE pickpocketing, I think that's really where the strength of this is going to be. If we get rune crafting, that will also be a really big benefit. Crafting is one where it's not like the craziest skill to get up. Normally it's pretty quick. We have things like the Alder and Gem Shop, so long as you have the GP for it. And I'm not necessarily worried about crafting, though there can be some tasks behind it, like making a Fury. So it's not bad to get some assistance there. But what I see this relic doing would be something like your early money solve, you know, getting yourself up to Varlamore wealthy citizens, being able to AoE pickpocket them and get quite a lot of money. And then also if you're taking like pickpocketing areas, which I'll talk about here in a second, but any of the high level NPCs, this is going to have like a lot more value to it. And then of course the one that we have today, Hotfoot, where it's solving cooking, smithing, and agility for you, maybe giving you a tiny bit of GP as well. So this is really like the agility, the smithing, maybe a late money solve for yourself if you're going for like the Runite ore, just being able to print Runite bars really easily. And to put this another way, how I would be looking at these are kind of like the combos where I'm thinking about it. But what I will say, I do think that Hotfoot almost entirely kills Woodsman because, yeah, I know like Hunter does suck. I hear you. But man, there's just not a lot there. I think it's gone full trash can, guys. I think it's toast. We'll just update that image real quick. All right, anyway, so the combos. If you're taking the trash can, you know, maybe you're like also doubling down. You're taking like abundance for that extra level boost there. You can get to things like the different hunter tasks sooner. So that's why I have things like Wilderness, Taranwin, Kandrin in here, because they are going to have some hunter tasks probably, like catching red chins, catching black chins for the Wilderness. Not sure I recommend that. Looks very trash can to me, but to each their own. If we're looking at something like the Thieving Relic, I think still, like, the Thieving is probably the primary piece. If we get Rune Crafting, maybe I'll change my mind. But when we're talking about, like, again, you know, what does it combo kind of well with? Maybe Abundance, again, for that boost, kind of getting to some of these activities a little bit sooner. That might be beneficial for you. But particularly the areas where you have high-level NPCs, so like Mauritania for Blood Shards, Taranwin for the Crystal teleports as well, which is just crystal shards for yourself. Having something that does like a no-fail especially, really, really nice on those high-level NPCs. And then Kandrin making an appearance. Man, Kandrin's in all 3 of these. That's really something. Kandrin has really good clue pickpocketing. So if we are able to AoE pickpocket and no fails, then go into something like Heroes and getting yourself, what was it, like Hards or Elite Clues, like that's actually going to be a pretty nice combination there. And then, of course, like we already talked about for Hotfoot, the 2 Gathering Relics, they're going to feel pretty good. and I especially like this one for those agility areas. So Kandrin, Asgarnia, I think both of those are going to have a lot of benefit here. But it is now time to update the board. This is what it was looking like yesterday, and man, another good news day for me. We got it right on the money. Right tier, right tile. Feeling good. Hotfoot is on the board. Woodsman, I'm sorry, we've updated the graphic here. Your full trash can. Woodsman enjoyers, this is a rough day for you. I know, but it's going to be okay. You're going to not go Woodsman. You're going to go Hotfoot, and you're going to feel great. All right. And of course, we did get ourselves a Echo Boss reveal. Now, the Echo Boss itself is a repeat, so we've got Echo KBD. Again, like I've said with all these, since they're not giving us a lot of info, we don't know if the mechanics will change. Very well could. But we've got our dude standing him down with a double-looking crossbow thing. And here's what they said. This season, strike down the King Black Dragon Echo Boss for a new and powerful drop. Pack a punch with a double hit that counts as one, with Ice Barrage-like effects from a crossbow. So obviously that means the Koppish and the shield are not coming back. Personally, I'm fine with this, especially on the Koppish blade. We've had this in a couple of events recently, so I feel like we've seen this a lot, and I am glad to see something different because I don't need the Koppish for like the 6th time. You know what I mean? The shield is a little bit of a bummer, especially because we're going to be fighting King Black Dragon. Now, I know not everybody got lucky and got the shield first last time in the league, but like the way that the shield worked is it basically nullified all of the effects of Dragonfire, which included basically everything that the KBD would throw at you. So I don't know if that means that the KBD is going to be more difficult. It might. We'll have to see. I suppose for the folks who went dry on the shield, though, you didn't have that benefit anyway, so maybe some of you can let us know in the comments how bad this is going to feel. But of course, since we've got red KBD this year, we've got what is some sort of like doubled up crossbow. Just grabbed a couple of dragon crossbows, put them together. Now, what I find interesting about this is it says double hit that counts as one. So things like the different double hitting weapons that exist in Varlamore, those are actually 2 independent hit splats, and I feel like if that's what they were trying to go for here, they would have said that. So what this makes me think is, even though it's like a double crossbow thing, it's probably like 1 hit splat, counts as 1. That makes a lot of sense. But then it also makes me wonder how that's going to interact with something like crossbow bolt specials. Assuming that this doesn't use like special ammo, or maybe it's like a charged crossbow or something, they could always do something like that. But it's interesting because like if you double procced a Ruby Bolt spec, but it only counts as 1 hit splat, would that mean you only get the damage of 1 Ruby special? Or would it calculate it as like you've triggered 2, but then they get lumped together and you hit like a 200? So it might actually be important for, the mechanics of this when it relates to bolt specials. And it makes me a little nervous for that 1-hit thing. Like if we don't get better specials here, I wonder how powerful this will really be, because bolt specials tend to carry crossbows pretty hard. One other thing I'll say with this, though, I mean, crossbows, in the past, because they've done attack speed rounding, crossbows are 5-tick, and so that made them really, really powerful because it would round down to being, 2-tick, I think, in the last league? So, like, crossbows would essentially be up there with, like, the twisted bow on a range build. And if this is just a really powerful crossbow, and we get something similar on the attack speed side of things, then I think the wilderness just became like a big range region for people, because otherwise, I mean, the other big crossbow is going to be in Asgarnia behind Nex, and I know a lot of people don't like to farm Nex, so especially if we get like a special attack on this thing that does some sort of like guaranteed bolt spec, I mean, oh my god, then Asgarnia's like dead? Poor Asgarnia, dude, wilderness climbing the charts. We'll have to see. But of course, the other half of this that they mentioned is it has an Ice Barrage passive, and I'm thinking about, like, I don't know how this is going to be useful. Now, Ice Barrage does have a couple of things going for it. It's AoE, so like a 3x3 area, so kind of like the Dragon Crossbow spec itself, how it's like AoE. So maybe that means this crossbow thing is going to do like AoE damage to stuff, and in which case, maybe it makes it useful for like multi-slayer tasks. I'm trying to think if there's something else, like, are any bosses benefiting from multi? I mean, maybe if you go to like TOA and like the monkey room, you could AoE stuff down. I would say TOB, but if you're in like the crab room, then like this probably isn't typeless damage. I guess we'll find out. Maybe it could be magic damage, actually. I mean, it says Ice Barrage. I guess that's the other thing. Like, Ice Barrage is a magic spell, so maybe you have like some sort of magic stacking damage on this, and it's like a hybrid sort of weapon. That'd be kind of weird, but maybe. But of course, Ice Barrage is also known for the freeze. And that's really where I'm struggling, where I'm like, is the freeze even good? I mean, it's normally used in PvP. There are maybe a couple of bosses that you could freeze. I mean, like Callisto in the Wilderness, maybe a couple of God Wars bosses. I know we have some like strats in the main game where you freeze them, so like freeze Bandos and just range him down. Feels a little weird. I guess they could also make it so that if this does a freeze, maybe it's like going through any of the boss immunities. So then it would be more widely applicable to bosses, but like, I mean, what bosses are you going to care to freeze? I don't know. It feels a little odd. I'm not really sure what they're doing with this. Curious to know what you guys think of this, especially like the freeze part, because like I'm racking my brain. I can't tell you what this is useful for. I mean, I guess if you go as Guardian, but man, like this is a double crossbow thing. Do you want to go for a ZCB if you get like this whatever Echo KBD crossbow? I'm almost thinking you probably don't, right? I mean, feels weird. Feels weird. I don't know where this is going to fit. Of course, they didn't give us any stats or specifics, so it's hard to say for sure. But that is everything for today's reveal. I am going to be covering all of the daily reveals, and I've got a progress series planned once the league starts up. So if you want to see those, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to fill me in on your disappointment of all of the repeat Echo bosses, golly, we're at like, what, 3 out of 4? Make sure to join the Discord, link down below. Tell me all about it. We can gripe together. But either way, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.